Let the culling begin. And so it is so. They shall start culling long-term babies, humans that are ready to be born almost. There are people in this world, in Australia and America and other places, who now say it's okay to murder and abort these humans that are just about to come into the world. They say that's fine. There's a reason for it. It's a culling. It's culling those children because people see, maybe they see the result of so many single mothers having children as being a sort of, can cause some sort of problems for the children that are born because of the lack of discipline in these mothers, and they do not instill discipline into the boys, especially. So, and neither into the girls either. And maybe that's what the wise and great, and with the great wisdom that are behind or supportive of late-term abortions or any abortion, which I'm totally totally against, that there may be a very practical and financial reasons for it. Maybe they think, well, the result of all this promiscuity over the last few decades and all the single mothers is a lot of social anarchy and costs of welfare costs and all that. So maybe it's purely a financial measure to try and say, well, if we call these babies at the late term, whatever, they're not wanted children anyway. These women don't want these children. They just wanted the sex, but not the children. And the odd part about that is there's nothing wrong with women wanting sex. It's all fine and good. That's part of we as normal males are very glad that women do enjoy sex. But the fact is, if they want it, they can avoid being pregnant. But women are saying, or feminists are saying, but it's we control our bodies. It's ours. We own our bodies. Really? If you had control and own the body, then you've got to some discipline over the control over it, and then stop getting pregnant in the first place. I mean, nothing wrong with going out and having sex. It's normal. It's been going on for quite some time, actually, people having sex. But and so are abortions, but at some stage, the cause of abortion is the sex. In the first place, that people, even this day and age, when contraception and contraceptives are so readily and easily available, that there are any abortions whatsoever, begs the question, both sides, the male and females involved in this culling of babies or unborn babies, unborn humans. I've always been against causing someone to get pregnant in a way that, I mean, I will not be responsible for bringing up the baby. I've always been against that from when I was a boy, really, because I realised I don't want the responsibility of having to be involved in a woman having an abortion. I didn't want it on my conscience, and I certainly didn't want the idea of a woman going through life of having to. I don't know how to deal with it. I'm not a woman, but if they can, they must have some hurt to know that they've, especially as a baby becomes a baby, going from a small fetus is one thing, losing that, but when it becomes a baby that you can hold in your arms and it can look at you and cry, and that's going to be aborted, because then that I can see, I feel deep hurt and shame for that woman for doing that. And that hurt and shame carries on repercussions through society, and it might harm the heart of these people, whether people are not allowed to say that. I'm saying it anyway, because I think sometimes it's better, a bit of truth and honesty is best thing to be, rather than sort of skate around it because someone is oversensitive, because they have these feelings inside they wish and they regret. And I think the thing with this abortion thing, this late-term abortion, I think the men who cause these pregnancies should be there at the abortion. They should be there. The men who cause these pregnancies should be there with a bucket or wherever the aborted baby's taken away and disposing. The men should be there to carry away that baby. That should be the most important. That should be law. as far as I'm concerned. You cause a woman to be pregnant because you haven't bothered to wear a condom, or you haven't inquired whether she's on the pill, or you're not willing to marry her and look after the baby. If a man causes a woman to be pregnant, then surely he ought to take responsibility for his actions instead of running away and hiding. He should be a real man and be there at the end. If he doesn't want the baby, he should be there, either pay for the abortion or be there at the time where the abortion's happening, to then discard and dispose of the baby, because that would be justice then. Justice will be done. Not only that, you would end all abortions. There'd be very few abortions after that, because if men were held responsible for the pregnancies they're causing by being there at the abortion, so they have to face what they have done to a child, a baby, and a woman, then surely men will be very reluctant to be having sex and causing without considering the risk of having unprotected sex and causing a baby. Because in a way, everyone likes sex, but in a way, you run in the end by creating all this. People are destroying their own sex life, the enjoyment of it, by creating all these guilts. I mean, it's all right if you don't feel guilty about causing a woman to be pregnant in a way that pregnancy is not wanted. How men can then carry through life with that guilt in their mind, that is beyond me. I mean, I couldn't. If I can't. I've always wondered. It's nothing to do with being a Christian. I've never been to church in my life. Well, since a little kid, I used to go to Sunday school, but I've never been to church. It's not. No, people say you're not a Christian. I don't know if I'm Christian. I'm more like a Taoist, if you want. It's the repercussions I'm concerned about. The psychological, emotional repercussions I'm concerned about, rather than going to hell or whatever that means, or having a sin. It's a sin of omission, really. It's omitting to the sin of omission. It's omitting the facts in the first place that you want sex, but you're omitting to wear a condom and inquire if the lady's on the pill, or what does a woman want sex for with a bloke she hardly knows, who's not going to take responsibility for the baby she and him are going to cause. Like I own a car, but if I drove it without any conscience, awareness of where I was going, I'd soon crash it. I say I own my body. If I drank too much alcohol, which I do like a bit of whiskey, but if I didn't try to keep myself reasonably fit with my diet and that, well, I soon crash my own body. And I think it's all sort of the same thing, really. You do things and they crash your body, or they crash your mind, or crash your emotions. And because you've not thought at the time what the repercussions were. Now, they say there's a saying that a standing cock has no conscience, which is sort of slightly true in a way, but also it should always have that conscience. Because I'm not into sort of restriction, I'm not into sort of being a prude about sex at all. What I'm into is that, but it is thinking of what the repercussions are. There should be enjoyment and say, oh, that was nice. Remember it as a pleasurable moment, and that was it. It shouldn't be, oh, crikey, I caused that woman to pray, oh, she's got to have an abortion. And there are two people then have to live with the repercussions of that for the rest of their life. That they caused the death, the murder, the legalized murder of an unborn human. Because wherever they say that, oh, it doesn't matter how late the baby is, babies can be born a month premature and survive happily, go on to be happy, normal human beings. So to say that it's okay to have these late-term abortions, it's not. And not to be able to discuss how to avoid them in the first place is avoid the pregnancy by taking responsible for actions. And that can't be taught to children in schools. But the same people who encourage these late-term abortions seem to have so much immaturity now within the societies we live in. They are bringing about the collapse of their own society that they're supposed to be leaders in. leading us over an abyss, a cliff, into where does this take you when there's no conscience about anything you do or anything you say. You can't say to children as class, avoid being pregnant, avoid causing a woman pregnant, but you can say go out and equally enjoy promiscuous sex. There's a real contradiction there in doing that, and it's also a danger to the society as well, because children are a part of society and they grow up and become the society. It's what they don't teach them when they're young that creates a society in the future. And if it's okay to go out and make babies, but then abort them at the late stage, well, no words can describe what sort of society that is. It's not a civilized society, that's for certain. I just find it very sad, actually.